as I say every single Monday morning, it is a vibe. What is up, nerds? It's me, your buddy pal, Hey Archer. Welcome back to Nerdy Coffee here on Nerd Affiliated. Realize I'm missing a light, so I'll turn that light on as I talk to you. And the camera's at an angle. I'm not sure what's going on there. But this is your weekly Monday morning show where we sit back, relax, and we enjoy a nice hot cup of brew, and we talk about the news. Ooh. Oh, it's so good. So good. So good. Like I said, this is your weekly Monday morning nerdy show. We got a lot to talk about. I'm not even going to front. I may not even go through all the comments because we got a lot to talk about. But thank you for being here with me today. If you have a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, vlog, OnlyFans, newsletter, smoke signals, whatever it may be, put it in the chat. Support one another. Plug yo shit. I'm happy to see that the Instagram is working. We're on 2 different Instagrams today, so I'm glad that you guys are chatting with us here today. Let me actually bring this in a tad bit. Straighten it out. Boom. There you go. I think. Focus on me, camera. Focus on me, camera. There you go. There you go. But hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. I feel like I'm still out of shot. What is happening? I must have really hit the camera doing something. Yeah, I'm so happy you guys are here with us today. Like I said, tons to talk about, and hopefully there's enough time. But I got to go through the comments. I got to say hi to all of you. I can't not do this. Cutthroat in the house. Good to see ya. Yukon Phil in the house. Cutthroat beat you today. Good to see ya. Creativity from the future in the house. Good to see ya. Consult a blind guy in the house. Millennium Workshop in the house. Cindy in the house. Good to see ya. Consult a blind guy. Time for me to grab a coffee. Yes. I tell you, I've said this before. The hardest part about doing this show, right? Because I'm not trying to have a coffee OD moment throughout my Monday, is waiting until this show to have my first cup. Because there's going to be another 1 or 2 throughout the day. So if I go into the show on number 3, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Valedium says, enjoy the brew, then take a poo. You know what? I don't usually hit the button on a Monday morning, but it's true. It's damn true. Craft Collect says, work can't keep me away 2 weeks in a row. Let's go. Geek Strong, the strongest in the house. Good to see ya. Craft saying hi to everybody. K-Wall Comedy in the house. Good to see ya. And Legacy is loving the poo. There you go. So as I said, so happy to have you guys all here with us today. If you've not done so, hit the subscribe button down below if you're new here to the channel. And there's also channel memberships, 99 cents a month, can get you on board to support your boys. And I had some member-only content that right now is on pause. Hopefully I can drop it later today. But I had some member-only content. And there will be more member-only content. Early access is probably the better way to say it. So make sure you guys hit that membership button down below. If you're on Instagram, welcome. I'm telling you, YouTube is the better YouTube is the better experience. So come on over to YouTube. But if Instagram is what you enjoy, by all means, there you go. There you go. Of course, if you want to stay up to date with us in real time, Instagram.com/nerd affiliated is your one-stop shop for all things nerd affiliated. We'll post memes, news, clips, all sorts of fun stuff there over on Instagram. But of course, if you're into bustin', we made a separate Instagram for that. The Real Nerd Busters over here on Instagram, where we were in hyperdrive. We were in overdrive. We were pedal to the metal over here on the Real Nerd Busters on Instagram, because last week was the world premiere of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and we had feet on the ground for that one. So make sure you go back, check out all the clips, the videos, the pictures. Shout out to the Rambling Nerd for being the one to get us all of this access here. I was accused on Reddit of, one, like, why am I posting watermarks and everything? Because they're our photos. That's why. So if we feel like putting watermarks on our damn photos, we'll put watermarks on our damn photos. But two, I was accused of stealing all of these photos because there's just no way we could have gotten these photos. But no. Alas, they are ours. Shout out to Anthony for hooking us up. It was quite a team effort, I would say. He was like, text message, picture. I'm like, all right, go. Captions. Watermark. Thumbnail. Boom. He's like, video, go. Boom. My phone died, I think, 2 times last week on that day. What was that day? Thursday? Friday? I don't even remember. It's such a blur. So yeah, good times for all. There you go. Happy 4-year friendversary for the income stream. There you go. One more time on the button. There you go. Love that. Love that. All right. So we're going to roll right into nerd news. So like I said, we have a lot to talk about. So we're just going to go in order right up here. This one is a fun one. This one, I'm leading off of this because I may talk a lot about it. And the final news story I may talk a lot about. So, I was so pleasantly pleased to see this post. And the only reason I saw this post was shout out to Star Wars Theory. Star Wars Theory, who's currently in the middle of his heel turn, made a 8 billion thumbnail here where Disney says they made 8 billion from Star Wars. My thoughts. And I was like, wow, that's more than I expected. That is more than I expected. Maybe there is more to the story than meets the eye. Just maybe. So I went over, and here we're on the HollywoodReporter.com, where it says, as it being Star Wars, fights off an activist investor dead set on changing the company's plans, the Bob Iger-led company touted its massive profits from 2 big bets over the last 15 years. Comes as a surprise. The Walt Disney Company is giving its investors a sense of the massive profits it has made off of Star Wars and Marvel universes since the studio and Lucasfilm became part of Disney. And it's more than one can shake a lightsaber at. So as it goes down, they kind of explain the backstory to, a lot of it. And in 2012, Disney paid $4 billion for Lucasfilm, giving Disney owners the Star Wars and Indiana Jones franchises. Now, we all have been bashing the ever-living poop out of Star Wars and Indiana Jones. We all have. There's entire careers made on bashing Star Wars. We talk about the fandom menace here more than I'd like to admit, because at the end of the day, angry and hateful content tends to do well as far as like grabbing people's emotions. So I was a member of that community for a very long time when The Last Jedi came out. And then I realized, like, what am I doing? I'm sitting here wasting my time just bashing Star Wars video after video, just consuming video after video, podcast after podcast. Just let it go. If stuff comes out and it sucks, it sucks. We can have our opinions on it, but like we can't make 100 videos on the same shit over and over again. But as we continue, this is with an SEC filing. So they're showing all the numbers because to be a publicly traded company on the stock market, you got to show the numbers. So in the filing, Disney suggests that Lucasfilm has generated nearly $12 billion in value to the company. $12 billion. For Marvel, which it bought in 2009 for $4 billion, Disney cites all 4 Avengers movies and the Avengers Campus Marvel Cinematic Universe themed areas that opened at Disney California's Adventure and Walt Disney Studios Park in Disneyland Paris. The 4 blockbuster movies occupy 4 of the top 15 slots on the list of top lifetime box office grossing. Marvel has generated some $13.2 billion in value to Disney per the presentation. So Star Wars made $12 billion, aka Lucasfilm. So we'll count Indiana Jones because that's Lucasfilm. It made $12 billion. They bought it for $4 billion. Marvel made $13.2 billion. They bought it for $4 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, as Nix would say, freaks and geeks, blurs and nerds, the battle's over. The battle is officially over. Literally, in the purest form possible. Every single Disney scared, Kathleen Kennedy is effing this up. They are destroying it. Nobody's watching it anymore. All that stuff is now null and void. It is null and void. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I just want to play this clip. We'll let the ad play through here. But I got to play this clip. Star Wars Theory has chosen quite the opportune time to heel turn and start hating on Disney Star Wars, because who would have thunk that this story would come out? So let's just play a little bit here.
Jedi was ass. The only thing that will make jagged in some other direction story, and it has lost that magical feel that it once had. At least, when Star Wars was in George's hands, of course there were critics, but it never lost that magical feel of a galaxy far, far away. Whereas now it has. People are so pulled out that they're noticing things that don't have to do with the story. Before, people were arguing about the story. Well, he wouldn't do this. It doesn't make sense. It's like, well, yeah, but at least you're talking about the story, right? At least you're like entranced within the actual. Well, they didn't even say that because it was prequels, so it's like they're just like, oh, this tone is so different, and that it was different. It was much, much different than the original trilogy. Now, this $8 billion profit, I feel like could have been a $20 billion profit, if only.
Done. We're done. We can all agree the content has been, as fans, we can all agree the content has been terrible. Like a couple W's in there, but overall, the Disney content has been terrible. All on the same page here. But at the end of the day, Disney gets a last laugh. We're talking about, and trust me, I love talking about money left on the table. I talked about that numerous times when we talked about like earnings calls, sales numbers, when it comes to all of our favorite franchises. But at the end of the day, if you're making a sentence that is, I know it's 8 billion, but it could have been like 20 billion. We lost. They are making money And that it is what it is. It doesn't matter how they're doing it. It doesn't matter how they're doing it anymore. Even if there's new content coming out, but like all the sales are on old content, they're still making money. So like at the end of the day, the casuals are still watching it. The casuals are still buying it. The casuals are still going to Disney World and Star Wars Land and all that stuff. The casuals are still going to the Avengers theme park or whatever. It's done. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. So until the numbers change, right? Until the numbers change, until we start seeing some actual firings where it's like, whoa, that's weird. They fired this person, whatever. We got nothing. We got nothing. So, yep, the content sucks. We'll still do our reviews. We'll still talk about everything, and that will never change, right? I will still say that what they're doing is terrible, in my opinion. And we probably all share the same opinion. It's terrible, but at the end of the day, casuals are still eating it up, and we're still talking about $8 billion. I got nothing. I'll check the comments real quick. If someone want you guys think that I'm ignoring you. Steve in the house, good to see ya. Homie complaining about the watermarks, probably wants to steal your picture. Yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna scroll down a bit. They are releasing all of this so they can drive up their stock value. Of course. But here's the thing. If it wasn't Star Wars, and I thought about this too, as I was watching Star Wars Theory, do his little video here. If it wasn't Star Wars and it was another franchise that like has been doing well by us fans, we'd be ecstatic. Whoa, $8 billion. Bought it for 4, made 12. So that's a profit of 8. That's insane. Great job. Like, imagine, what's a friend? Ghostbusters, right? Ghostbusters comes out this week. Imagine if Sony was like, hey, we've made $8 billion on Ghostbusters since we bought it. And we bought it for 4. Whoa. Insanity. Ghostbusters is killing it. Blah, blah, blah. We can't be hypocrites. And now that the numbers are out, we have to accept it. It hurts me to say this, by the way. I'm not a Disney shill by any stretch of imagination. I hate what they've done to it. But we got to take the L's when the L's are given to us. And unless these numbers are proved to be false, which that's its own legal issue then, because that's, again, we're talking about stock market trading here, the SEC trade organization, almost said trade federation. If this ends up being like fudging of numbers, different conversation. Absolute different conversation. But right now, we have to acknowledge that despite the movies, the TV shows, the figures, all being things that like piss us off day to day, month to month, year over year, they're still making money. And they're making a lot of money. And all those Kathleen Kennedy videos from all these people and all these, they're Disney's scared, Disney is losing money on Star Wars, Disney considering selling Star Wars, all those videos that these people put out, these speculative videos, they're all bullshit. Every single one of them is officially bullshit. It's just the numbers. I have a Disney Plus Star Wars actor on my channel tonight. Oh, there you go. All right, make sure you guys watch that. Geek Strong, put a link in the comments there. I wouldn't say Star Wars Disney Plus has been terrible. They might not all be mind-blowing, but I think they are all entertaining. It's a scenario where, like, here's my test, right? Usually my test with a lot of these franchises is if I talk to random people in my life, are they paying attention? Because us, the hardcore, we'll watch everything, right? We're watching, again, even the Fandom Menace people, that make videos daily bashing Star Wars will watch every single show, every single movie. So the hardcores are in. We're in no matter what. But my test is usually if I talk to somebody in my life, coworker, family, friends, and I'm like, hey, did you watch blank? If they're like, oh, yeah, then I'm like, all right, maybe there's some traction here. If they're like, oh, I didn't even know. Oh, I didn't know that show was still going. Then I'm like, all right, well, maybe it's not doing well, right? It's not being advertised in their algorithms online. When it comes to the Disney Plus shows, ever since Mandalorian season 2, I don't know a lot of casuals in my life that are still watching Star Wars stuff. They may ask if there's a movie coming out, but for the most part, they've been like, or I tried it and it seemed stupid. I didn't know. I thought Ahsoka was on the other show. What was going on? Who's that girl? Like, I don't know anybody who's watching the shows now. So for us, are they entertaining? In a way, they have to be because we keep watching. But I feel like I'm inclined to say they've lost a lot of casuals. But again, the numbers disprove my feeling and thought of these are lackluster shows and nobody's watching them. Obviously, people are watching them somehow, some way. EC in the house, good to see ya. Man Collects, good to see ya. That's why they don't care what we think. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I mean, that's it. That's it. That's why they don't care what we think. They're like, oh, yeah, sure. Uh-huh. Oh, Rey should not have her own movie? Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Phil says, Disney Star Wars has had its moments, but overall, it hasn't been great. I don't think it's going to get better. Disney's ruining most of its properties, and it doesn't seem like that will change. Agreed. Millennium says, I will watch it no matter what, just so I can make more cool shit. Accurate. I just refuse to watch most Disney everything nowadays. Yeah. I man, this video, it made my day. It made my day. And not for, once again, not because I want Disney to win. I'm not a Disney Star Wars fan at all. But I'm like, fuck, you guys got us. You got us. You did it. You did it. Despite all of our efforts, despite all of our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, you proved otherwise. And there's an argument that Star Wars Theory here makes, and I'm sure other people are going to be making, where it's like, well, obviously it's Star Wars, it's going to make money. Well, yeah. So then again, what are we talking about? It's over. It's over. So at this point in time, all we could hope for is that we get some good Star Wars every now and then, a good show to talk about, good show to watch, good movie to talk about. But the idea that, that they're fucking it up in the numbers is just wrong. It's false. The fact that Kathleen is scared, Disney's scared, Bob is scared, all those thumbnails with them crying, you guys know the thumbnails. It's all false. It's fake. It's all fake news. We just found out wrestling was fake. But apparently, if you want to date a Ukrainian beauty, click that sponsored thing up on the right. Oh, God. Speaking of Star Wars, Patty Jenkins says she's back on the Star Wars movie Rouge Squadron. Hey, whatever. Sure. Feel free to read this over at the Hollywood Reporter. I'll skip past this at this point. Essentially, she was working on Wonder Woman 3. They said they're not doing Wonder Woman 3, so Disney was like, hey, do you want to come do the Rogue Squadron movie again? And she's like, yeah, sure. I'm sure there's lying up and down in that story. Although James Gunn did say that Wonder Woman 3 would not kind of mesh with what they want to do. So that's why they're not doing it. But either way, we're getting Rogue Squadron. So I hope it's good. I hope this one's good. I'm ready for another Rogue One style darker movie. Give me Top Gun in Star Wars, because we already got Star Wars and Top Gun. Give me the reverse. Henry Resilient in the house. Good to see ya. I did not. That is the final topic of this morning's show. So don't worry. It's coming. I got a lot of tabs up there. Actually, the final topic is box office recap. But before that, I feel they're going to go after other big franchises. Maybe eventually. I think right now everybody is so scared of losing money and they want to keep their profits where they are, that they're not going to do a lot of big acquisitions at the moment, including Disney. They did get the big partnership or big ownership stake in the company that makes Fortnite. They did that one. But I think outside of that, to buy a franchise, I mean, I think they'd buy a franchise if it was on a fire sale. You know, I think if something was, if there was a franchise out there that was really hurting, and Disney found a way to milk that shit till they killed it, they would take it. They would take it for sure. But I don't think they're going to go after anything that's like doing well. Not like they were and like they would have, you know, from the past there. Henry apparently not a Patty Jenkins fan. I mean, Wonder Woman 1 was great. I will, let's pull up her IMDb. Hang on. Let's see. Because it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. All right. So Wonder Woman 84, terrible. Wonder Woman 1 was great. Oh, she directed 2 episodes of Entourage, all right. She did Monster. People seem to like Monster. As a producer, shit, you're getting me on this one. Damn. All right, so maybe she's not that good. Who's the woman that directed Point Break? Why'd I think that was Patty Jenkins? Oh man, these are terrible. Well, Henry might be correct here. Nice track record, huh? Who directed Point Break? I swore that was Patty. That's the same woman that directed Hurt Locker, I want to say. Catherine Bigelow. That's who it is. Yeah, I thought that was Patty Jenkins this whole time. Zero Dark 30, The Hurt Locker. Yeah, Point Break. Point Break only has a 7.3. That's a shame. Anyway. All right. Well, I guess I'm not excited for Patty Jenkins to do this. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. So this was some other big news. Man, we're all about the Hollywood Reporter on this episode. This one was major in let me rephrase this here. This was big in a very niche setting. Very niche setting. X-Men 97 is coming out this week, I believe. And a lot of us are excited. But again, this is your hardcore X-Men fan that's excited. This is not, I don't see a lot of, like, again, casual people in my life talking about it. I don't see a lot of people posting about it on Instagram. I don't see a lot of YouTube videos about X-Men 97. So in my algorithm, in my life, I don't see a lot of people talking about it. But those that are really about cartoons still and still about X-Men are really about this show. Took some controversy the last, 2 weeks? 2 weeks because of the trailer that dropped where we saw Morph and we're like, who the hell's that? But nonetheless, we're all still excited is a stretch at this point. We're just hoping they don't F it up. That's really all we're hoping for here. But they ended up dropping that some news on the 12th, so that's 6 days ago. X-Men 97 creator Bo DeMaio was fired weeks before the premiere. It is an unusual situation on the eve of a project's debut that the writer-producer who worked on Moon Knight and Blade will no longer be promoting the show or moving forward with future seasons. So it continues. They talk about the show, talk about his, history here. And a lot of it was just like speculation, hearsay. And then I noticed that somebody was making these really kind of like not cryptic, insinuating something type of posts, but not like giving details. And that was from Blainer Things over from the NECA, who we all love for all the NECA figures we get. He was posting stuff about like people keep spreading lies, people keep not telling the truth, all this stuff. And I was like, who's he talking about? And then finally he posted this screenshot. And it was, for those who thought they were confirming false news, please be ashamed of yourself for turning your back on one of your own for a few more clicks. And he had a screenshot here of Entertainment Weekly, and he circled at the bottom, asked if he would categorize the parting of ways as a firing. He said, quote, "I don't. We parted ways is the best way I could say it." And enter that article. Marvel Animation head addresses X-Men 97 showrunner exit. Brad Winderbaum, who heads the animation at Marvel Studios, speaks with Entertainment Weekly about the situation. And essentially says, you can see it right here, I can't talk about the details, but I could say Bo had a real respect and passion for these characters and wrote what I think are excellent scripts that really the rest of the team were able to draw inspiration from. They meant to add in there, build this amazing show that's on screen. Asked if he would categorize parting ways as a firing, he says, "I don't. We parted ways is the best way I could say." Repsford DeMaio did not respond to EW's request for comment. So there you have it. Seems like they split ways. My ultimate question here remains, why did they not go for the original writers of the show? Now I can't remember their names. Here you go. It's a couple, Eric and Julia Lewald. They're still alive. And I remember when X-Men 97 was first announced, they said, they were hyped for it. They had a book that came out. I have not bought it. I'm ashamed of myself. They had a book that came out, and they were asked, like, "Hey, are you doing the new show?" And they said no. They weren't asked to, but they were invited to go see some of the behind the scenes, and they gave its blessing. But I'm like, why would you not pay them to do it? Like, why would you not have them on? They are literally the reason why you're even able to make this show. To me, it's a wasted opportunity. And not the first time Disney's done this. It's one of those, it happens continuously where it's like, oh, we're here's another season of a show, different director, different producer. Here's another movie, different, like the fact that George Lucas isn't paid to still be involved in Star Wars somehow, it's just weird. It's weird, but it's what they do. Speaking on the morph thing here, they said, in quotes, "Did we teach you people nothing? Were you not watching? Did we not figure out how to be nice to each other and how to get along? It's very odd to feel like we are still dealing with the same issues that we were dealing with 30 years ago. It's painful." They're not wrong. They're not wrong. I will maintain that I wish this was just a different character, because we already have an established morph that we've seen on the show, that we love from the show, had a great arc on the show. So I don't know why they have to change him, but they're not wrong. The show was about inclusion. The show was about people being discriminated against. So I can't say I disagree with them. Morph is the best series we never got. RIP to Morph. You people. What do you mean, you people? Let me catch up on some comments here. Patrick says, would suck if the show is good and the creator is released. Imagine. Just imagine. I missed out on some Henry quotes here. Comments, I mean. The broken clock is right 2 times a day. Nice track record. Talking about Patty Jenkins. It's cool. What else weird? My headphones like cut out for a second. It's cool to be inclusive, but what has Patty done for us lately? 1984, she had a bigger budget. Yeah, Wonder Woman 84 to me was a real I don't know if I would risk giving her another big budget movie like that. I would have to know the back end of it. I'd have to know, like, if I was a studio, I'd be like, all right, your first movie people loved. People were like, Wonder Woman, best DC movie out there. The last one, people are now saying one of the worst ones. We all know that Gal Gadot had more of a say in Wonder Woman 84, which in itself is a problem. I feel like stars of movies should not be in the producer or writer chair unless they've proven to be a producer or writer. And I feel like the producer's job and the director's job is to be like, hey, I appreciate your feedback on the character. I appreciate your feedback on where you want to go with this. I disagree that that's where we should go. I think that needs to happen more. And if that did not happen on this movie, then I would say that's an issue with Patty. If she did say, I disagree with what we're doing here, and Warner Brothers was like, well, Gal Gadot's the star, let her decide what we do here. All right, Patty, I'll give you another shot. But right now, I'd have no desire to give Patty Rogue Squadron, Star Wars needs a W. I don't feel like it's worth a gamble, personally. But what do I know? Remove the damn morality clauses from contracts or include adult content. My man got hosed for showing his hose. I heard about that. I didn't see it in the article, so I didn't want to just like speak on it necessarily. But yeah, you guys know, I talked about it when it came to Gina Carano. I feel like I am for morality clauses in a contract. Because at the end of the day, you represent my brand, even if it's unofficially. So. Why can't you super chat? Good question. By the way, everybody, leave a thumbs up. There's way more of you watching than we have thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up down below. I disable the monetization on my live streams so that those of you who don't pay for YouTube Premium can watch this with no commercials. And then once the live stream is done, then I monetize the videos where you can super chat and stuff. So I do this for you. I do this for all of you. No ads on the live videos. But like I said, if you guys want to join the memberships, super chat after the fact, by all means. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. All right. The time has arrived. The time has arrived. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back to the beginning here. Move this over there. So we are here on youtube.com/nerdaffiliated. Over a year ago, we were not monetized. We were probably hovering around 500 subscribers. And I made a video following the arrest. I think he was arrested, right? Or was he just, this is a Henry question here. I think he was arrested, but if he wasn't, he was just served. But I made a video because Austin St. John, my favorite Power Ranger, had been, well, I'll just say he was served by the government for doing COVID fraud, which some companies were doing. Real shame. People are scumbags, is what it is. So he did COVID fraud, and I talked about it. And then in talking about it, I decided I should talk about the beef between Austin St. John, the Red Ranger, and Tommy, aka Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger. I should talk about that beef. Oh, he was arrested. All right, there you go. So I want to talk about this beef because I feel like a lot of people don't know the backstory to this beef. So I sat down, did a whole thing on it, and the video just, it floated out there. It floated out there. Some of you who have been watching from way before then were like, hey, you've never even talked to Austin St. John. You should. Like, you said you like him, whatever. But I always felt like Austin St. John was like a weird dude. Like, I had no issues going to meet Jason David Frank. I'd have no issues going to meet any other Power Ranger. But Austin St. John, I'm just like, I don't know. He rubs me the wrong way. You fast forward, we lose Jason David Frank, and then this very video blows up on the channel. It is my most watched video. It is how Henry and I became friends, because Henry ended up showing this video on his channel. And at that point, I was like, I can never talk to this guy. I was like, I made an entire video talking about the beef, talking about how both of them, I thought they should have squashed it. But at the end of the day, I'm like, Austin's accusing Jason of being a scumbag. Jason's accusing Austin of being a scumbag. But in this video, there's a clip where Jason David Frank is like, don't let the actor ruin the show. Like, don't let the real life person ruin what you felt like as a child, ruin how it made you a better person, all that stuff. But following then, as I continue to go to Comic-Cons and continue to see Austin St. John, people are like, you should, now that your videos has popped off, now that your channel is starting to pop off, you should really go talk to this dude. Last year, New York Comic-Con, I'm getting pressured again. He's standing there next to Walter. There's no line whatsoever. I'm looking down at the dude and I'm just like, it don't feel right. It don't feel right. I feel like I just can't do it because there's something about this guy that just continues to, like, it rubs me the wrong way. It rubs me the wrong way. So the other day, I forgot to even share this on the screen here. The other day, he makes a post, right? And I screenshot it and I send it to Henry, and I send it to Legacy of Nerd. And I see it's Gandhi here. It's a picture of Gandhi, and I don't know what that is for sure. At first I thought it was like a one of those mills you use to like weave cotton and stuff, but I really can't tell what it is. Right. So I see his picture and I'm like, all right, you've grabbed my attention. And I read the caption here. Diving deep into history's leadership, I explore the good, the bad, and the impactful, uncovering lessons from both heroes and villains. Every quote, every leader teaches us something profound, shaping my vision for a unique t-shirt line that blends wearable art with the wisdom of ages. And I was like, and this is when I sent them the screenshot, the two of them. And I was like, my man's using Gandhi as a method to do a rollout. This is his rollout from making a t-shirt line. Again, the guy just rubs me the wrong way. He really, really does. And as I'm reading the comments, I sent to both of them. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I was like, people are saying that he's quoting the H-Man, #1 scumbag all time. And I go back and I read I read this caption again, and I don't see it. I go online. I actually Googled H-Man comments. I'll just say it, Hitler, in case you were wondering. I look up popular quotes, and I'm looking at this caption. I'm looking at the quotes. I'm looking at this caption, looking at the quotes, and I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see what people are talking about. So then Henry is like, your audio cut off. You may want to check things after. Is my audio cut out now? What about now? Is my audio back? Me over here taking notes for for an apparel rollout. That's funny. Yeah, let me know if my audio's good. I'm back. Audio's fine. All right, cool. Damn, I'll sound such a good rant. Anyway, they're probably on delay. No, I noticed something in my settings was a little off there, but where was I? I'm forgetting where I was. Oh, so I was like, I told them both. I was like, hey, people are accusing him of doing this. Like, do you know what they're talking about? And Henry's like, yeah, this video. So I had seen Henry posting some videos on Austin St. John, but I was like, wait, what is he talking about? And I added them to my watch list, and I hadn't gone back to them yet. But Henry sends me this, and I'm like, all right, what is this about?
BIZ. And you can find my con sites, my e-commerce, my clothing line, my jewelry line. You can find my comics there.
Clothing line? I didn't know about that one.
Yeah.
Let's hear about that.
So I have some Ranger-oriented clothes, and then I'm building a Warrior line where I will go back in history, from pre-Greek days as far back as I can. I'm going to have famous quotes from warriors of all ilks, including the terrible ones.
Wow.
Hitler was, a demon on steroids, but he had some pretty good one-liners.
What are we doing?
So everybody from the great ones to the infamous and terrible ones, and I'm going to have quotes in their languages.
I love and about to.
I'm gonna let the ad get to the skippable part here, and we're gonna go back in case that part just flew over.
What are we doing?
So everyone's, including the terrible, have some Ranger-oriented clothes, and then I'm building a Warrior line where I will go back in history, from pre-Greek days as far back as I can. I'm going to have famous quotes from warriors of all ilks, including the terrible ones.
Wow.
Hitler was, a demon on steroids, but he had some pretty good one-liners.
What are we doing?
Yeah. there are people in this world that how do I phrase this properly? I have to be political for a second. This is the only way for me to like convey this thought. There are people in this world who look like me, look like variations of me, look like variants of me, if you would. And once they achieve a certain amount of money or status, living situation, geographic location, they start to think that they are somehow they think the rules do not apply to them. They feel like all of a sudden they are on the other side of the fence. Somebody like this, right? And let me just let's see here. He's from Roswell, New Mexico. Am I wrong here when here we go. Also St. John is of Native American, German, Irish, Japanese, and Spanish descent. So somebody like him, right? He may say, well, I got some German in me. Thinks that if a certain type of racism is tossed out to a crowd, it would not apply to him. He thinks that if somebody was like, I'm going after Spanish people, that they would graze past him. They wouldn't look at him and be like, I'm going to attack you as well. He thinks that somehow he is like the exception to the rule. And the fact that he would even have the thought process of, I'm going to put a quote from this person onto a t-shirt for the sake of monetization is absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. Did I say absolute insanity yet? Or did I skip that? It is insane. It is insane. This person, Austin St. John, has claimed to be a hero, has claimed to back America, has claimed to help soldiers, has claimed to be all about helping people, be all about being the best you can be. And somehow a person that says and has done these things, it's like, I'm going to make a t-shirt line about warriors, Mr. 15 black belts and whatever lies he has. And the first example you could think of, just off the top, off the dome, was I'm gonna put Hitler quote on a shirt, and I'm gonna sell it. What are you doing? What are you doing? And one could say, well, there's shock value, like sometimes shock value is a great way to get attention on yourself. Right? But I would dare say you're wrong in this scenario. I would say you're wrong in this scenario. Since this post, so this post was 5 days ago. 5 days ago. This podcast dropped 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. So my man sat down for 3 weeks. At that point, we'll say 2 weeks. He had 2 weeks time to sit down and say, hey, you know what? I was tripping. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I said that. That was dumb. That was dumb. But instead, he doubled down. He doubled down this picture of Gandhi with this caption on here. And since then, as people have been in his comments and being like, bro, what is wrong with you? Why'd you say that? He decided to just kind of start spamming out, hey, come see me at this place. Come see me at that place. Hey, guys, last chance to get my autograph. Hey, guys, do this thing. That's it. That's all he's been posting. Literally all he's been posting. I hate that I'm going to say this. This message goes out to almost all the Power Rangers, including this guy. There's a line from a famous man that I despise, but I bet you in person I would say I was a fan. But I despise him. This man's name is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Legally now he's actually The Rock. He did legally name change. There's a line that he said many moons ago, and it stuck with me. And I feel like more people need to really commit to this line. The line is, know your role and shut your mouth. I repeat, know your role and shut your mouth. Austin St. John, and to a lot of you Power Rangers out there that have over the years scammed money from people, that have tried to make Power Ranger adjacent content, that have bashed the company left and right, but then would come back for a rent check. Know your role and shut your mouth. You're known as a Power Ranger. Put on the suit and dance around. Put on the suit and dance around. Because that's it. That's what you do. That's why people are there. That's why people want your autograph. That's why they want the picture. That's why they want the interview. It's because you're a Power Ranger and that's what you're known for. Again, that's majority of them. There are some that have broken the rule. There are some that have proven to be good actors, good writers, good voice actors, etc. The people like this who bash the company, bash the brand, and yet the brand is all over his Instagram, comes back to the appearances, comes back to the show to get the check. You are delusional beyond belief to think that you're above this brand. And the fact that you're like, I'm going to make my own thing and say it's going to have something like that on it when you are tied to this brand through your own means. This is your social media. This isn't the Power Rangers social media. This is yours, right? You're going to make a brand like that and tie it to this, tie it to Power Rangers, has to be one of the dumbest, stupidest business decisions I've seen in my entire life. Actually, you know what? One person has trumped you, pun intended, and that's Gina Carano. People who are eating off of a family-friendly brand, franchise, and say, I'm bigger than this. I'm gonna talk my truth. I'm gonna speak my mind and say some wild ass shit. Sir, Austin St. John, I will end with this. First of all, you should unblock Henry and you should watch his videos where he talks to the fan base every day. And they have some thoughts on this, right? The people who keep buying your autographs, right? they have some thoughts on this. That's the first thing. The second thing is, how do I phrase this here? You need to fire your entire PR team, your entire marketing team, right? And honestly, I'm going to take that back. You might as well hire Brent Pham here. Your number one fan. You might as well hire him here. Sir, I feel like there's no hope for you at this point. I feel, also say, John, I feel like there is no hope for you. I would dare you. I'm going to challenge you instead. Instead of giving you some advice, I'm going to challenge you. Since you believe that you're better than Power Rangers and you're all about the warrior way and all this stuff, do shit on your own. Sell yourself. No more Red Ranger, Gold Ranger, Power Ranger, none of that shit. Because in the Power Ranger fan base, we're not about that kind of shit. So get rid of all the Power Ranger stuff and just sell yourself. I'm Austin St. John, actor, writer, comic book, whatever. Just you. And see how far you get. Just do that. Because we're good. We are all set on you. We're all set. I don't need to interview you. I don't need to talk to you. Like, this is what you want to do. This is how you want to act. This is just do you. And if you couldn't tell, I'm pretty angry. I'm pretty angry about it. Because at the end of the day, as my favorite character on the show, they say never meet your heroes, and you are the definition of that. Textbook. I don't know what to say about him, other than, I think you guys should all, if you've not done so, subscribe to Henry. He has the main channel, and then he has the Clips channel. On the Clips channel, you could see here, video after video. Check it out. Watch it. Brent, who's in the comments here, welcome, Brent. You're wild. You're wild for still backing Austin St. John. I don't know why you do it at this point, but you do you. You do you. And I hope it works out for you, Austin St. John. I really do. I hope you figure it out, because I know you're struggling, and I'm pretty sure that's where this comes from. So I hope you figure it out. But at the moment, you can go after yourself. Ending on my favorite segment of the week, box office recap. Sorry, I lost chain of thought. I lost where I was going to go with it. I probably rambled for a bit there, because it's just infuriating. It's infuriating, especially when I see people who believe themselves to. I'm going to go full screen. I am all for people separating their identity from a character. I'm all for it. And it is up to you to break the mold of that. It is up to you to say, I am not X character. I am an actor. I'm an actress. I can do whatever. That is your job, right? But at a certain point, you have to understand that that's my job. I've been this character for this amount of years. This is the only thing that keeps paying me. F it. I'm just going to own it. Jason David Frank owned it. Almost 2 decades ago now. He was like, I'm trying my best. People really love the Power Rangers. People really talk about how much it's changed their lives and all this stuff. I am Tommy Oliver. He did his thing. Spread love, do autograph signings, show up on the show again, all sorts of stuff, right? He knew the job. He knew the assignment. And people like you, Austin, think that you're better than the job, but yet you can't break yourself away from it. You yourself cannot break away from the fact that, I left on good morals and good, whatever. They were treating us wrong, not paying us enough. So I was like, we're out. The show kept going without you, man. The show kept going without you. And at the end of the day, you came back to the show, you came back to the franchise to make a buck. So just own it. Just own it. And sit down and be like, if I'm going to do this extreme thing, is it going to hurt the fans? And is it worth effing up the bag? Just take a couple minutes and think about it. And he can't. He can't do it. He can't do it. People like Austin St. John, Gina Carano, they can't do it. They can't do it. They think that they're better than the role. They think they're better than who they are. And then when things don't go their way, all of a sudden they're the victim. They go from being the rebel, the hero. I'm going to quit and show them, to, they treated me badly and I don't know what happened. I don't, It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Who was the other one? I don't have a, again, why does this camera keep focusing? There you go. I don't know if it was in Henry's stream or somewhere where Steve Cardenas, Rocky, allegedly Rocky was complaining about not being able to break the mold of being a Power Ranger, but yet the dude had a martial arts school, has a martial arts school. The dude tours still, signing autographs, taking pictures. At a certain point, just fucking own it. I'm a Power Ranger. People know me as a Power Ranger. That's all I'm going to be. Would people have signed up to your school? Would you have had the funds to start a school if you were not a Power Ranger? Probably not. Probably not. You'd have a 9-to-5 job, doing martial arts on the side. Maybe, if you had time, money. But otherwise, you literally have what you have because of the role. Just own it. Just own it. It is not hard. It is not hard. Prima donna actors, man. They think they are God's gift to the world. 100%. Yukon. 100%. Cardenas quit martial arts to do cons full time. Dumb. It was my stream early on. Steve hated Power Ranger fandom. There you go. Yeah. There you go. So it's crazy, man. The whole thing's crazy. The whole thing's wild. And like I said, all of you, make sure you subscribe to Henry. He has a lot of videos on Power Rangers, talking to people behind the scenes, people that are really in the know. And some of them have truly scammed people out of money with crowd funds and back this thing. And it's a shame. And all in the name of making something Power Rangers adjacent, because they're like, I don't do Power Rangers anymore. But have you ever wanted a darker version of Power Rangers? Back this project. I hated the way they treated me on Power Rangers. But hey, do you want to watch a darker version of Power Rangers? Back this project. Wild. All of them. Not all of them, sorry. Majority. There's some good eggs out there. And I'm not, like an Amy Jo Johnson, for example. Great. She wanted to take a break. She took a break. She came back. She's doing the comic book now. People love the comic book. She does an appearance here and there. People love it. She's like, yeah, you know what? I have this other passion project I want to do. If you guys back my passion project that is unrelated to Power Rangers, I will wear the Power Ranger suit and do a performance playing some of my songs. People did. She used it to her advantage. There's nothing wrong with that. Use it to your advantage. But some of these other ones, man. Man. Kraft says he learns a lot today. He learned a lot today, yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot. Dada Films. Oh, you're on Instagram today. Good to see you. Comic book is Power Rangers. Yeah. There's my rant. Austin St. John, you're a loser. That's all I got. So box office recap here. Much to my surprise, Kung Fu Panda once again number 1. It just narrowly beat out Dune. Dune Part 2. You can see the giant gap here between those two, and then you get down to Arthur. Man, my brain. I'm so amped up right now. Arthur the King, Imaginary, and Cabrini rounding the top 5. Going over to our Excel sheet here. If all things hold true, Dune 2 has turned a profit. Kung Fu Panda has turned a profit. Demon Slayer has turned a profit. And the train keeps on moving. The train keeps on moving. Once again, I was extremely wrong when it came to Dune 2. I predicted 4 million open. I wanted 40, thought it would hit 30. It ended up opening at 81. Kung Fu Panda at 58. Right now, Ghostbusters, that's this week. I am so excited for this. I don't think Ghostbusters will beat out Dune. So I'm going to maintain my numbers here of I would love Ghostbusters to open up at 60 mil. I'm predicting 40. I'm going to keep that. I think I'm going to change it. But let's see. Make sure you guys, you know me. I am Mr. Anti-movie theater. It's funny. Adam Savage dropped a video this week where somebody asked him about movie theaters. He's also turning anti-theater. So very much anti-theater, but I will tell you, please go see Ghostbusters because I really want this to continue. If it does not do well in theaters, it will not continue. That's where we're at. Madam Web is officially streaming now for rent and purchase. That's how terrible that movie did. They're just like, F it. I feel like that may help a Ghostbusters, to be honest. If it's out in theaters this week, 2 weeks from now, they drop it streaming to buy and rent. But otherwise, I am begging you, please go see Ghostbusters at least once. Buy a ticket and don't show up. I don't care. This movie needs to make money. It needs to make money. But let me go to the comments real quick, and then we'll call it a day. Make sure you clip this. I will for sure. Phil, subscribe to you, to Henry. Consult when to get that coffee. Henry says, Kung Fu Panda, I saw this weekend with my daughter. Great movie. There you go. Your favorite Power Ranger showed you who he really is. Yeah. I think sadly I always knew who he was, and that's why I always hesitated to get an autograph. I've seen that man. I've seen all of them. All of the notorious, Power Rangers ruined my life people. I've seen them at Comic-Cons. I've been going to at least one Comic-Con a year. 2012, 13, somewhere in there. I've been going to cons every year, even before I was cosplaying. And I've seen them at their tables. I've seen them there. And it always rubbed me the wrong way. Or in my gut, it was like, I want to get the autograph. I want the picture, but it just doesn't, I don't know. But with Jason David Frank, I was like, thank God I get a shot. And I'm so happy I got a shot to see him. But yeah, the rest of them, some of the ones that go on regular tours, not all of them, some of them, I'm good. I'm good. I understand them all wanting to make a buck, but like you can't go back, right? Like the internet exists. The internet exists. You can't shit talk something for so long, and then all of a sudden, now that you see somebody's eating on it, now that you see that Jason is not here anymore, you're like, I have an opportunity now to make some coin. I'm gonna start doing it. It doesn't work. It wasn't genuine from the start, and yeah, I can do a whole hour talking about this shit. Really. Yeah, Millennium. I'm sorry. So yesterday, you guys wouldn't know this because this was in DMs. Well, yesterday, Millennium Workshop posted a picture. He finally got to meet Austin St. John, and I immediately went to his DMs and I sent him that video. And that was a moment, similar to the Star Wars conversation. That was a moment where I realized the Power Ranger bubble it's small. It's a small group of niche, hardcore fans. And the greater world wouldn't know about this, even though it made like various news articles. Henry sent me some of them. Even though it made some news articles, people see Austin St. John and they just skip past it. They have no idea who you're talking about. So when Millennium posted the picture, I was like, oh, he probably doesn't know about this. So I sent him the video, and I realized I really do have to talk about it on the show because a lot of people just don't know about it. They don't know about it. And the other reason why I wanted to talk about this was since that clip came out, he's not chosen to address it. All he does is block people, delete comments from people that do ask him to talk about it. And I was like, that just tells me that you're owning it. It just tells me that that's I'm pot committed. This is what I'm going to do. This is who I am type of deal. And we have no place for it. The community has no place for it. Brent says, welcome to the army. He talks about things no one wants to talk about. Henry does. He does. You agree with 60 million. Going to see Ghostbusters. Wait, you're actually going to go see Ghostbusters in theaters? WTF? Yeah. Yeah. There's a video I want to make about Ghostbusters in theaters, but I think I'm going to wait till after I see it. No, I'm in Boston. He's a Z-list celebrity. Only Power Rangers fans know him. It's not like he has any other notable roles. Exactly. Yeah, Geek Strong didn't know about it. Why are other Rangers not speaking on it? Walter Jones, Karen Ashley, why so quiet? Yeah. Because they don't want to F up the bag. They don't want to mess up their own bag, their own deals, and that's why you can't partner with somebody like him. That's why somebody like him, when he's like, hey, I got this opportunity, you're just like, no, I'm good. He's like, wait, you didn't hear about this opportunity? I'm good. That fan word thing, I'm good. I'll just do it on my own. I'll just go around on my own. So, not surprised. Not surprised. I don't expect them to say anything. I expect, they might say something like a year from now, 2 years from now, if he's like out of the community altogether, if their partnership deals have expired, then maybe they'll say something. But at this point, so much time has passed. I don't need to talk to Walter, Karen, Ashley. None of them. Catherine. None of them. I would talk to David Yost because he's been against Austin St. John forever. I talked to him. I talked to Amy Jo Johnson. She commented right away like, what was it? Whoa, somebody needs new publicists or something like that. Talk to her. Johnny Young Bosch, I'm on the fence. He's been involved with some things before. But I feel like he's distanced himself from Power Rangers enough at this point. I mean, he was on the the once and always thing, but that was like easy money. He's probably just like, yeah, I'll just show up. I don't even got to wear the costume. Yeah, cut the check, easy. 24 hours, I'm in and out. Yeah, but the other ones that are on regular tours, like every week they're at a Comic-Con at the table, like I'm good. I'm good. But all right, that's all I got. That's all I got. Got very heated. I got very heated, but that's what happens, man. Don't meet your heroes. But tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, I will be over on Dave's Dimension talking Ghostbusters, talking about what we are hoping for in the movie, talking the hype. EC Collecting will be there. There's another person from the Daytona Ghostbusters, I believe, who will be there. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick so I can put a link in the comments for you guys. Here it is. So make sure you guys stop by later on for that. Trying to drop Ghostbusters videos every day. Every day. Trying to fix something with today and tomorrow's videos. So hopefully I can get those out for you. If not, I have failed you. I was like, yeah, new Ghostbusters video every day. Got them all queued up. Potentially may not be able to release them. But hopefully I can. Hopefully I can. But yeah, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire this Friday. Early viewings are on Thursday. Go see it. Go see it. And that's a wrap. That's a wrap. Austin St. John. Kick rocks, man. Kick rocks. Haircher Live every Thursday, 8:15-ish p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated. This Thursday will be my out-of-theater Ghostbusters live reaction. No spoilers. It'll be here on the show. It'll be here on the show. But yeah, it's going to be a good time. Every Monday morning, 9 a.m.-ish here on Nerd Affiliated, we have Nerdy Coffee. 2 different shows, 2 different vibes. Either way, you're stuck with this guy. Anthony's Ghostbusters video is currently live on the channel, so make sure you go watch that after this video. Tonight, catch me on Dave's Dimension, and then we'll have some more Ghostbusters content coming out later this week. Subscribe to everybody you saw over here on the side. This will be monetized when it's done. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to all you nerds in the next video. Kick rocks, Austin St. John. Peace. We're out of here.